Hello, this is DIY Reptiles, and today I am getting a video out. I'm sorry that the videos haven't been uploading like right at a certain time like they had been, but I have spent all day studying for finals today, and I'm also sick. So I'm sorry that that's a thing. I haven't been like legitimately sick in a while, but I'm super congested and my body's all hot and cold and stuff. It's not like the worst thing, but it's very uncomfortable, and my nose is like, when it's like red because you've been using so many tissues because the snot just keeps coming. That's what my nose is right now, and it's very uncomfortable. So today we are going to be adding a new piece of wood to the iguana's cage. This is like a big stump piece that I found that looks really cool, and I am going to be washing it off and adding it into her tanks. So let's go ahead and go to washing it off. So I just went ahead and I put it in the shower, and as you can see, here's my shower in my bathroom, which is really nice. And luckily, my shower is pretty big. It's about 3 feet by 3 feet, I believe, or 30 inches by 30 inches, or something like that. So I can put wood in it and rinse it off. Like if there's a big piece like this, as this piece is quite large, I I actually put it on the stove and I let it sit on the stove for a while. And we have a wood burning stove at my house, so it's not like a stove top or anything. It's just like a big furnace essentially, and it actually kind of went to charcoal for part of it, as you can see, and that's rather unfortunate. But it doesn't really affect anything. I'm just glad it didn't catch fire. But it just got really dry, and this allowed it to dry out. And also, I removed all the bark beforehand, and there was like this dry fungus looking stuff that, I mean, they were more like white mushrooms that were just kind of bad and around the place. So I took some sandpaper to those and like the legs and stuff of this, or I guess not the legs, but I also chopped those off as well. So those are cut, as you can see there. They're cut off. So I'm actually going to be setting this upside down in the cage, and you'll see. But this is just a really cool piece that I found, and I found it on like a bike path, and it was close to the road. So I had my dad drive me down there because I couldn't drive at the time, and we picked it up. And yeah, it's just been sitting outside for a while. Finally decided I'm going to add it to the inside iguana cage, and now this is it. So I'm spraying it down, and that's just how I'm going to clean it. And also, I believe I sprayed it down, and then I put it back on the furnace, and then like I went around like that multiple times. And that was after it sat in the house in the living room for a while before I could like properly clean it. But this just allows for any insects to get out of it, and it wasn't rotten or anything, so there wasn't going to be a bunch of insects inside of it, so I wasn't too worried about it. But spraying it with hot water certainly did ease my mind a little bit, and I really don't think I introduced anything because I let it dry out a bunch, and then I soaked it and stuff, and just it went through a lot before it actually went into her cage. But in her cage, I decided I wanted to add this in just to add some more climbing space, and then I moved around everything else to kind of fit around this because this is quite a large piece of wood, and I think it will go well with everything else. But unfortunately, not all the pieces in there do go well with everything else, and that is rather unfortunate. But for right now, it just kind of works. Like everything going on in the animal room for the next 4 weeks is just going to be kind of how it is, and then during summer I can catch everything up and start renovating certain tanks and fixing things and building things and working on projects and getting my act together when it comes to YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that, and properly editing videos and making videos and producing content and everything like that. I will start to work on as soon as school's over, I have 2 finals this week, 2 final exams for college classes this week, and then in 4 weeks or 3 weeks or something, the last week of May, I have final exams for the high school classes that I'm in, because I'm in high school, but I take college classes as well. So I'm already done with one, which is one college class, which is good. And yeah. Anyway, back to the iguana cage. It's going to look different. I'm going to renovate it during the summer in such a way that it can have the main focus of the renovation will be on the aquatic area. I want to add a bigger aquatic area that's easier to clean, so Charlie can have clean water more often, so it'll just be easier for me to drain out and stuff like that. Because right now I have to scoop it out, and then there's like some residual leftover water on the bottom, and I don't like that. So I kind of want to try to install something that could maybe possibly have a drain of some sort that I could drain out. That'd be really great. I'm not entirely sure how or if I can do something like that, but I'm going to try to look into it at least. I have a plan mapped out in my head, but I want to add something like that and maybe do some expanding foam around it, or like a rock structure around it, so then it doesn't just look like a big tub in the middle. And I might have to edit the background a little bit to incorporate it in, but I think that would be kind of cool, honestly. And I just think it would be neat to provide the iguana with more space to swim around, and just like a cleaner environment to swim around would be better, of course. And then I also want to redo the drainage layer in that tank, because I think she kind of destroyed it, and I think I built it wrong in general. And then the soil and everything can go back on top of that. And then I think I'm going to try to redo the wood. I want to try to somehow install more pieces of wood for her to climb on, like across the enclosure and up towards the top, just to install more stuff. Because currently what I'm doing with this, it's kind of getting cluttered, and cluttered wasn't really what I was looking for. Like, it's kind of cluttered near the bottom because that's where I can set stuff, but that's not really what I'm going for. I more just want area for her to be able to climb, like platforms and stuff. And she does use this as a platform, and she does sleep on it occasionally, which I think is pretty cool. But I just don't, this isn't exactly what I am going for. It's just kind of, I'm fitting everything in. And like that big piece in here in the bottom just doesn't really do anything. So like, why does it really need to be there? It really doesn't. So that'll probably get removed, maybe moved into another closure, maybe used for turtles and somehow, I don't know. But for now, this is it, and this is me adding in that big piece, and this is how I sanitized it, just spraying it down the shower and then drying it out and spraying it down with hot water. I might have dumped hot water on it at some point. I think I did that before I brought it in or something. So like I boiled water and dumped it on. But as long as the piece isn't rotten, you can kind of just clean the outside. And as long as it doesn't have bark, then you can kind of just clean the outside and you should be good. But I think this is going to be it for this video. So I hope that you enjoyed in some way. If you happen to, like the video down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if for more content, then subscribe. I will post again next weekend somehow, some way, at some time.